We really gotta scrape from the bottom of the garbage can to get any possible leak we can, because Apple's really tightening down on anything that comes out on the new iPhones this year. But one that is coming forward that a lot of people actually surprisingly have been talking about, what this year's generation of iPhone is going to include in the box. Basically, changing nearly everything that you're used to. For one, a very controversial opinion that probably a lot of Android companies are going to enjoy. It's rumored that Apple is not going to be including a Lightning to headphone jack adapter in this year's version of the iPhone. I think this is fair. I think it's understandable because Apple started kind of this whole trend. Yes, I understand that Android companies, they remove the headphone jack first, but Apple was kind of the first company to modernize the idea of a flagship smartphone without a headphone jack that still a lot of companies like Samsung and the LG G7 disagree with. In 2018, they're still sticking with the headphone jack, but Apple, they ditched it back with the iPhone 7, which is approaching on a 2-year birth date. And at that point, I think Apple's starting to realize that most people buying iPhones are used to not having headphone jacks anymore. This could be a bummer for some people who just have like lots of wired headphones and they use those dongles all the time, and they were looking forward to every single year they buy a new iPhone, they get another adapter so they don't have to spend the terrible $9 if they absolutely need a Lightning dongle. So this bums out a couple people, but I really don't think it's going to change anyone's mind. I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh, there's no adapter, switch to Android now, there's no point. However, this is something Android companies will enjoy. They'll finally get to say, and we include the adapter, Apple. You charge extra for people. How dare you? That's terrible. So if you like Android, you got more things to hate about Apple, and if you like Apple, you don't care about this, I'm sure. I actually can't remember the last time I used the Lightning to headphone jack adapter on anything because I've been doing the portless challenge so far, so whatever. I'm sure this helps on cutting down costs, given that manufacturing those things, while it probably doesn't cost very much, I'm sure it's not free. I mean, just look at Google. When the Pixel 2 first came out, the USB-C to headphone jack adapter was $20, and because so many people were mad at them for charging extra for a small adapter like that, then Google lowered it to $9 because of all the outrage. But the question remains, if you were charging $20 for it, but you don't mind charging $9 for it, why was it $20 in the first place, Google? Who knows? Apple's accessories are expensive anyway, so I have no right to complain. But then moving on to the charging cables. This is a rumor we actually got last year, but it's resurfacing again with some more concrete evidence. Apple might finally, after so long, be including a USB-C to Lightning cable with a fast charge brick. These reports are saying that it's not a 10 watt, not a 12 watt, but an actual 18 watt USB-C charge brick. And if it's anything like these schematics that have been leaking out, I'm very interested. The one thing I really like about the included 5 watt charge bricks and iPhones is that they don't take up like any room on a surge protector or on a wall outlet. A big problem I have with a lot of other companies' charge bricks is they typically take up a lot of space and they make it harder to plug things into your surge protector. But by the looks of it, this one would also be fairly small while still giving off that much faster charging option. And since this year's iPhone, you know, other than the 10 Plus and the new color, isn't going to be changing a bunch of stuff. It's just kind of an S upgrade. Being able to include fast charging with this phone, I think will be a good motivator for a lot of people who like to critique iPhones or maybe weren't justifying the price point beforehand. With this year's iPhone 10s rumored to be costing maybe just a little bit less at $900 instead of $1,000, perhaps this fast charging brick will be able to persuade people to go a little bit further. But again, last year before the 10 came out, a lot of companies were saying that Apple was going to include a USB-C to Lightning too. Of course, that ended up not happening, and I disagree with that. I think if you're paying that much for a phone, that Apple should just include extras, even if they have to raise the retail price. I've gone down this argument before and pursued it, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I think Apple would have been smarter to charge more for the iPhone 10 and just include all the best accessories. Include a fast charger, heck, include a wireless charger and include AirPods. Yes, this would be a very expensive phone, but I think you could justify that expensiveness with all of the amazing hardware and accessories you'd get in a single purchase. Whereas right now, when they settled for $999, you pay $1,000 and you still get USB-A to Lightning, and you're like, I thought the 10 had fast charging, why aren't you shipping it with fast charging? I thought the point was wireless headphones and AirPods, why are you shipping Lightning AirPods? I think it's hypocritical, but anywho, a lot of people were bringing up why doesn't Apple just adopt USB-C onto the iPhones themselves? And to that I respond, I think Apple's just so used to Lightning accessories now. They've gotten so many markets to adopt a Lightning headphones even. That's becoming a normalized thing. Sure, you can bring up the point that Apple gets a little bit of money when other companies use their Lightning port, but it's a business. What did you expect? But on top of that, I think Apple is really just trying to get people to move to a portless future with iPhones, and they feel like switching away from Lightning and making all of your old accessories like the Lightning dock, your old cables, all the Lightning ear pods, all of that stuff would stop working for the sake of USB-C isn't really worth it in the long run. Besides, they just ditched the headphone jack. That was a big hurdle for a lot of people to get over, and now that they're ditching the adapter included in the box, that's also going to tick off a piece of the population in the audience, so makes sense to not tick them off even further and say, now your old chargers don't work either. They found a universal standard, it works pretty well, you can do fast charging through Lightning, and I think it would be really great if this year they corrected that and made sure that this year's iPhones actually come with the fast charging brick, so the people who buy the iPhones can experience, oh, this is how fast my iPhone charges now by default. On top of that though, you know, I really wouldn't get much use out of it because I'm moving towards the portless challenge. I've still plugged nothing into my iPhones, so it'd be like, yay, fast charge brick, and back to Qi charging. But I'm sure plenty of you out there are not like me and are just like, heck no, I want to charge my phone faster, and it'd be great if the iPhones included that, just like so many other Android phones do. I'm more in the team that would say, can you just include like a certified Qi charger with the phone? I'd be good with that, but I know I can't get everything I want. Why is it so complicated for the idea of like being able to customize what's included with each iPhone? Like, I have AirPods, I don't need Lightning ear pods to be included. If it makes it cheaper or if it makes it easier for you to ship it to me, you can just not include those. You can just throw those out, give them to someone else who may need them. I have a ton of Lightning chargers. Can you not include one with mine? I'll be okay. Just what if that was a little customization setting in checkout? I don't know. But anywho, I just thought it was a little bit bizarre that all at once there seemed to be a lot of rumors reporting on what's going to be included with the iPhone, but in reality, Apple may not decide that thing until the last minute. But on top of that, there really hasn't been any more leaks or rumors about the iPhone 10s themselves, except for all the ranting about that 6.1-inch budget version that people are getting so excited about and probably is not going to sell very well in the first place. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think. What should be included with iPhones? I personally wish that iPhones could just cost a little bit more, but include AirPods. That'd be such a sweet deal. Even if you already have them, having a second pair for when your old ones get like clogged or start to go bad just as a backup is nice, or just give them to someone you know so they can experience AirPods. That's what I would like to see happen. What do you want to see happen? Let me know in the comments below. And before you go, I'd like to let everyone know that we're doing a giveaway for a Apple certified Milanese loop, an Apple Watch 42mm at $150 value if you're a Patreon member. It doesn't matter how much you donate, but it helps support the network, it helps support us, it allows us to make the type of content we want to make on a daily basis across an entire network of channels. So we want to reward you guys for supporting us directly. So head over to Patreon, donate anything you want, and then you are eligible to win a Milanese loop Apple Watch 42mm giveaway. Links are definitely in the description. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.